When I was like 2 years old, one of my it's I didn't really see her do it because I was too young. But I can remember when I was like 2 or 3 years old, someone stapled my ears. Someone was stapling my ear. I think it was the right ear, but someone was stapling my ear with a stapler. They burnt my dick. I mean, if I could see a doctor, no one even really cares about that for some reason. But if I could see a doctor and I could show them the burn marks, I'm not burning my own dick. Someone's burnt it, and if they can carbon date the thing, then obviously they'll realise that someone's done it to me at a very young age. The cutting of the thumb, the breaking of the right rib, the tying up our eyes, our hands, our feet, and throwing us in a closet. The Jim Carrey look-alike, my cousin being Jim Carrey's look-alike, and the carbon copy scenario that they've got going on. On top of that, Jim Carrey made a movie. His first movie, I think, was The Mask. And then I'm the man in the mask. And then we've got the Christina Belfort. You got the Fort Shopping Centre just around the corner. I mean, this is why I don't. This is why I don't want the British police to investigate. I want Interpol to investigate, because there's a good chance that the British police are doing all of this, or at least some parts of them are doing this. There's some sort of numerological, astrological thing going on here that I can't really comprehend. But the Rahila Malik, I know Rahila Malik because my sister's her best friend. They used to once upon a time say they were lesbians, but I don't really know if that's true. But they, my sister Nafisa seems to love her horoscopes, and Rahila, I'm apparently thinking she loves her horoscopes as well. But for some reason, these liberal extremist women have been torturing me when I was a kid. And I don't know who's taught them this, but we was in Rochdale and they used to torture us when we was kids. And then there was some guy who parked his car on my foot and just left it there. When I was like 3 years old, I can remember I had little sandals on, and I was stood on the road. I think it was either Rochdale or Keighley, one of them two areas. And I was stood outside. It was a bright day, nice weather. Some guy in a white car parked his car on my foot and just left it there. And then went inside the house. I don't know which house he went into, but he left it there for a while, and then after a while he came back out and he removed the car from my foot. Nobody apologised to me. This was what was weird about it, First and foremost, the fact that they parked the car on my foot, and then nobody apologised, and nobody, picked me up. I didn't even cry for some reason. I just stood there with the car parked on my foot. But like I said to you before, they do things in threes. 3 times. They do everything times 3 for some reason. I don't know why. But the second time someone run a car over my foot was Asim Ali from Lansdowne Road. I was sat in his car. He was driving a Blue Rover, and I was getting out, and he kind of he kind of put the car. I was sat in the back. I was getting out. I put my foot outside, and he put his car. He accelerated, and then slightly my foot got stuck under the car. I told him, "What are you doing?" I hit him as well because he put his car on my foot. And then the third time someone put a car on my foot was when I was in Kashmir, and someone just purposely run their little rickshaw thing over my foot. So that's just their way of saying things. Like I said to you before, when I go to Pakistan, one group of Pakistanis will send their people to come and pick up my village and my relatives, then another one will, and then another one will. And what they do is, they've done a lot of physical things, like they beat me up with a bat over my head. That Jangir guy, Zarina's son, my brother-in-law's Naveed's look-alike, he hit me with a bat on my head. He crossed the bat like that side, the bat's flat like that. He crossed it like that, smashed it on my head, smashed it on my arms, and then smashed it on my leg, and then he ran away, the bastard, whilst I was trying to grip him, because I had loads of sleeping tablets at that time, and my legs were asleep, and he was trying to push me out of the house. The thing about this Jangir guy is, when Haji Qurban was alive, and he's Jangir's grandfather, and he was saying to me that these people are holding me hostage and get him out of the house. He was saying, I don't. He was what he was basically saying is, I'm disowning my son. The son they call Munir, my brother-in-law Naveed's father. He's saying, I'm disowning them, and I don't want them to have any of my land. And what his grandson was saying, Jangir, from underneath, they had like two stories. From the underneath, he was saying, die, faggot. Hijra means faggot. Hijra means a person born with both genitalia and male and female genitalia. And he was saying, die, faggot, so we can inherit the house. Now, the funny thing about this guy, Jangir, is their mother's name is Zarina, the eldest son's name is Naveed, Naveed, on Eid, they attacked us as well. His daughter's, the next daughter's named Saima, then the third daughter's named Kali. That's not a real name, I don't really know a real name. And then there's Halim, and then there's Gulshan, and then there's Nadim, then there's Jangir, and then there's Khan Dil. You know, Khan meaning Khan, and Dil meaning heart. So they pretty much, and they seem to be heavily linked to Hollywood and Bollywood. And the Zarina looks like Newton, so you have to just copy the copycat scenario they've got in the movies, and the names of the movies, the people who are casting these movies. I mean, I cannot believe they're getting away with this. I mean, if there was an interpol who would decipher this movie code thing, they realise I'm telling the truth. And I need Interpol to go back to the village and get the students out of our village, because they've been holding them hostage since forever. I'm thinking MI5 knows what's going on, because Altaf Hussein is one of their surveillance. And Altaf Hussein is a big M2M guy. The M2M guys are all migrants. So they're holding us hostage. Some refugees, most of the refugees are involved, but mainly it's the extremist and vegans, Hindus, who are ripping our teeth out, because me and India gets very touchy about this. The Hindus get incredibly touchy about the fact that you're eating meat. So the British vegans, I don't know what the British vegans about, but the word vegan just came about really recently. V and gun meaning gun, the man with the golden gun. I'm supposed to be the man with the golden gun as well. So there seems to be a lot of media manipulation to all of this. That's why they tell me not to watch the news, because the news, they drug me, and then the news just makes me. When I close my eyes, it seems like someone with a computer upstairs or downstairs, or maybe my neighbours, have hacked my TV or my Sky viewing card, and they keep gesturing to me to kill myself. Why should I kill myself? You know, when I've actually caught the whole plot, from the Hollywood Bollywood aspect to the point that they're framing me, and they're just trying to get me.